Welcome to Making a Murderer, Rubberducky video channel. Well, we have made it so far. We have a few more reads to go. Welcome to the RD Making a Murderer Daily MaM Reading CASO Investigative Reports, Part 110. Page 1091. Type of activity, transport of items to crime lab. Date of activity 02-1907. Reporting Officer Investigator John Dietering. Documents generated, receipt from Crime Lab. On Monday, 02-1907, I, Dietering, did transport the following items of evidence to the crime laboratory for comparison. Item number 9856, elimination fingerprints of James M. Link. Item number 9857, elimination fingerprints of Andrew L. Colborn. Item number 9805, white cardboard box. Item number 9806 through 9815, partial fingerprint lifts. I turned these items over to Fran Lutz at approximately 10:40 hours on 02-1907. These items were taken back into my custody on Wednesday, 02-2107. I received them via overnight ground transportation. I ultimately did return these items to the evidence custodian on 02-2107. Investigation continues. Investigator John Dietering, Calumet County Sheriff's Department. Page 1092. Type of activity, receipt of items from Federal Bureau of Investigation. Date of activity 02-2107. Reporting Officer Investigator John Dietering. Documents generated, none. On Wednesday, 02-2107, at approximately 14:45 hours, I, Dietering, did meet with Special Agent Gerald Mullen, Federal Bureau of Investigation, in Saukville, Wisconsin. There, Mullen turned over to me the following evidence, which had been transported to the FBI laboratory for analysis. Property tag number 9569, a swab. Property tag number 9572, a swab. Property tag number 9574, a swab. Property tag number 9800, a control swab. Property tag number 9801, a control swab. Property tag number 9802, a control swab. Property tag number 9803, a blood vial. These items were transported back to the Sheriff's Department and turned over to evidence custodian Hawkins. Investigation continues. Investigator John Dietering, Calumet County Sheriff's Department. Page 1093. Type of activity, supplemental report. Date of activity 02-2207. Reporting Officer Deputy Jeremy Hawkins. On 02-2207, I, Deputy Jeremy Hawkins of the Calumet County Sheriff's Department, was contacted by Trooper Chris Bridges of the Wisconsin State Patrol, informing me he was delivering to us a few pieces of evidence from the Department of Criminal Investigations office in Madison. At approximately 18:14 hours, I received from Trooper Bridges a compact flash card and also a Kodak EasyShare Z730 camera. I had Trooper Bridges sign the evidence property custody document for the EasyShare camera. Upon receiving the compact flash card, an evidence property custody document was filled out for the compact flash card and was given property tag number 10004. I had Trooper Bridges sign the evidence property custody document form. I signed the Department of Criminal Investigations receipt and made photocopies of both the receipt for the compact flash card and also a receipt of the Kodak EasyShare camera. The originals of the DCI receipts were given back to Trooper Bridges. Both the compact flash card and the Kodak EasyShare camera were placed into secure storage. Deputy Jeremy Hawkins, Calumet County Sheriff's Department. Page 1094. Type of activity, transport of items to Wisconsin State Crime Lab, Madison, Wisconsin. Date of activity 02-2307. Reporting Officer Investigator John Dietering. Documents generated, receipt of items. On Friday, 02-2107, I, Dietering, did transport the following evidence to the Wisconsin State Crime Lab for analysis. Property tag number 9856, elimination fingerprints of James M. Link. Property tag number 9857, elimination fingerprints of Andrew L. Colborn. Property tag number 9803, blood file. These items had been previously packaged by evidence custodian Hawkins. I subsequently did transport these items to the Wisconsin State Crime Lab and delivered those to Dolores Larson, Investigator John Dietering, Calumet County Sheriff's Department. Page 1095. Type of activity, evidence, transport duties, date of activity 02-2607, reporting officer Investigator John Dietering, documents generated, none. On Monday, 02-2607, I, Dietering, was directed by Investigator Wiegert to proceed to the Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department to take custody of some items of evidence that were in the care and control of the Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department regarding this matter. Investigator Wiegert requested that I go to the Sheriff's Department and collect 2 packages, one of which was a box purported to contain buccal swabs, and the second was a package purported to contain pubic hair, head hair, and fingernail scrapings. At 12:03 hours, Detective Remaker and Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department evidence custodian, Sheriff Robert Herman, and myself did enter the long-term storage unit in the basement of the Sheriff's Department. The outer door was locked and was opened by Detective Remaker, who had a key. Inside the long-term storage locker, I did observe a caged area with a padlock on that door. This padlock was unlocked by Detective Remaker. Detective Remaker did retrieve the 2 items that Investigator Wiegert had discussed with me. I did inspect the seals on both the items, and they appeared to me to be intact. I did not open the packages. I did transport these items back to the Calumet County Sheriff's Department, and at 12:50 hours, I did sign them over to Investigator Wiegert. The transmittal used was a Manitowoc Sheriff's transmittal affixed to the box in question. Investigator John Dietering, Calumet County Sheriff's Department. Page 1096. Type of activity, contact with WLUK TV Fox 11. Type of activity 02-2807, reporting officer Investigator John Dietering. Documents generated, none. On Wednesday, 02-2807 at 16:50 hours, I, Dietering, did contact WLUK TV in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I spoke with Julie Bruler, who is a news director. The purpose of my telephone call was to determine at what time the television program, quote, Prison Break, aired on Monday, 10/31/05. Julie advised me she would have to check with trafficking and programming in order to determine when the program aired, and also indicated she would have to clear release of any information with legal. Investigation continues. Investigator John Dietering, Calumet County Sheriff's Department. Page 1097. Type of activity, contact with Julie Bruler. Date of activity 03-01-07, reporting officer Investigator John Dietering. Documents generated, none. On Thursday, 03-01-07 at 11:10 hours, I, Dietering, did speak with Julie Bruler, WLUK TV, Green Bay, Wisconsin. She indicated to me on Monday, 10/31/05, one episode of Prison Break aired at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time, and second episode aired at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Investigation continues. Investigator John Dietering, Calumet County Sheriff's Department. Page 1098. Type of activity, addition to page 1061 of the report. Date of activity 03-01-07. Reporting officer Investigator John Dietering. Documents generated, none. On Thursday, 03-01-07, I, Dietering, did review my report concerning an interview I had done with John F. Swarzenbart. This interview is located in paragraph 3, page 1061 of the report. I noticed no mention was made of whether I had questioned Swarzenbart regarding his association, if any, with Lieutenant James Link and Sergeant Andrew Colborn of the Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department. Swarzenbart had indicated to me on 02-01-07 he does know both Link and Colborn through work. Swarzenbart was asked if either Link of Colborn had ever ask him to provide them with either his master key or his grand master key. His response was no. Sergeant Bart was asked if he had ever provided either his grand master key or his master key to either Lieutenant Link or Sergeant Colburn, and his answer was no. Investigator John Dietering, Calumet County Sheriff's Department. Page 1099. Type of activity follow-up regarding letter received by Kayla Avery. Citizen contact, Colleen A. Tim, date of birth 11/17/67. Superintendent, Mishcot High School, telephone number 920-775-4633. Deborah J. Knox, date of birth 07/04/56. Principal, Mishcot High School, telephone number 920-775-4673. Date of activity 03/02/07. Reporting officer, Investigator John Dietering. Documents generated, one-page letter. On Friday, 03/02/07, at approximately 11:30 hours, I, Dietering, was advised by Investigator Wiegert that blank, previously mentioned in this report, had turned a letter over to the high school principal at Mishcot High School. The letter apparently had something to do with the contacts blank and another student had with Steven Avery at approximately the same time Teresa Habach disappeared. Investigator Wiegert requested I go to Mishcot High School for the purpose of interviewing the author of the letter and possibly blank regarding this matter. At 1400 hours, Investigator Baldwin and I did meet with Colleen A. Tim, date of birth 11/17/67, superintendent of Mishcot High School. She stated the note that was in her possession had come through the high school principal. Tim stated blank had turned the note in as a result of some perceived harassment on the part of one of her friends, blank. Page 1100. At 1403 hours, Deborah J. Knox, date of birth 07/04/56, principal of Mishcot High School, came in and joined us. She stated she received the note from blank at approximately 11:15 hours or so. Blank asked to speak specifically with either Principal Knox or the Dean of Students. Knox went on to indicate blank had been talking to blank a lot about Steven and what is going on with his case. Knox stated she had talked with blank after lunch at approximately 12:30 hours. Knox stated she told blank to stop talking about Steven and blank agreed to do so. According to Knox, blank admitted to writing the note. Knox stated blank told her she was on the Avery compound on Sunday, 10/30/05. Knox indicated blank had minimized the note and did not seem concerned about the fact the authorities may be interviewing her. We were given a copy of the one-page note, which reads as follows. Hey blank. Hey, how's it going? Well, I guess a little rough, but okay. I had just a thought of something, Now, we were at Stevens, and we all had seen that car in the back. Well, Steven could have done it and had someone bring the car and the body to him, and he would have finished her, because Steven rushed us back to Mishcot and sped off. Also, Blen could have went home right after Steven got home, because Steven could have had all this planned out, but not knowing we were coming and panicked and drove us home. It all makes sense now, because everything sexually that happened to Teresa could have happened that afternoon. So yeah, if you don't understand, I can try to tell you what I mean. Well, gotta go. Love you. XOXO. Always, Ruben. P.S. Right back ASAP. This note will be placed into evidence. At 1413 hours, Investigator Baldwin and I did interview the following individual regarding this matter. Blank indicated she wrote the note and gave it to blank today between 0850 and 0935 hours. She stated on the day she spoke of in the note, Brendan, blank, and blank were hanging out. Let's start a review on page 1091, and it's a receipt from the crime lab where they're receiving Link and Colburn's elimination fingerprints along with the box and the partial fingerprint lifts, as well as we know they got some full fingerprint lifts, but they don't give those to them, I guess, to the crime lab of the original packing of the blood vial. So again, I ask, why is the FBI not being given this if it's evidence related? So I went ahead and jumped to 1092. We're talking about the FBI and Gerald Mullen. And what's interesting is this. When you look at in between these swabs, 69, 72, 74, those three, what were the swabs in between there and why weren't they control swabs? That's my question. So let's switch over. Let's look at this Calumet list. And if you look right here, 9587 is latent prints. That's not the one I want. Let's see, where is it? We want 9573 right here. Ugh, the whole thing lights up. Let's try going backwards. Sometimes that helps and sometimes it doesn't. You get it. It's right here where my cursor is. Question debris. Why is this not a control swab? If you notice, they just take swab of stains. They're not doing control swabs, which is what you're supposed to do when you take samples. Just a lack of protocol. Completely. Interesting, down here we do have a map drawn by Kayla Avery. Map drawn by Robin Littersky. I want to see these maps, and what are they of? Let's get back into the daily before we get off on a rabbit hole. So easy to do in this case. But what's interesting is they do send the blood file, but again, no packaging to the FBI. Or new packaging, I should say. And then on 1093, we have Trooper Chris Bridges of Wisconsin State Patrol. He is delivering a few pieces of evidence from the DCI, which is a compact flash card and receipt of a Kodak Easy Share camera. Whose Kodak Easy Share camera is this? Because that's not most likely, that's not Teresa's camera that we know of. What's on that camera? Whose is it? The compact flash card, is that something we can look at? Because was it laying in the RAV and they found it? Then there would be no fire damage to it. We could see the other pictures. So those are questions I have. On 1094, again, we're back to the elimination fingerprints of Lincoln Colborn and the blood file. And now, we already talked about the Wisconsin State Crime Lab, just got the original packaging from the blood file. Now the FBI's done, that's all going to be sent to the State Crime Lab too. So they'll have the State Crime Lab only is going to have the elimination fingerprints, the blood file, plus the original packaging, whereas the FBI isn't given the original packaging that would have had fingerprints on it if there were some. We're on page 1095, and we're talking about a box purported to contain, in other words, believed to contain, buccal swabs, and a second was a package purported to contain pubic hair, head hair, and fingernail scrapings. John Dietering's picking this up from Detective Remacher. Remacher in Manitowoc has the keys to all of the storage areas because he is now gone from the canine unit, drug unit, and he is now our evidence custodian in Manitowoc. So Jeremy Hawkins is the evidence custodian in Calumet. And this is what happens. Detective Remacher did retrieve the two items that Investigator Wiegert had discussed with him. I have discussed that they're not telling you what they're taking, just the two items. And I'm sure there was more items in that box than they're sharing. Okay, we're going to jump down to 1097. And this is basically Julie Bruler. She works for WLUK-TV, Prison Break. So this is where Barb Yonda has stated that she was at Scott Tadich's at 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. watching Prison Break with him at his location. However, Steve Avery was having a conversation that night on the telephone with his fiancée. And he was telling Jody, that he was seeing Barb leave her house now. And we're somewhere after 8:45. I believe it was 9:20. So this isn't working. She could not have, I don't know, did she go to the house and then leave again? It's confusing to me. I find it interesting that this whole Prison Break is even an alibi. So 1098, we have Schwarzenbart. Now, he's the one that has, get this, he has the Grand Master Key. Why are we calling it a Grand Master Key? Why isn't it just the Master Key? You have Master Keys in this, and in Calumet and in Manitowoc, they now have Master Keys and Grand Master Keys. Are there any 33rd degree Grand Master Keys? Please, people. This is getting to me. Oh, anyway, he's asked if he gave his key to Linker Colburn. He says no. Do you notice they refrain from asking if this key has been shared with anyone? And if so, where's the log of the times the key was used? I'm sure if you have a Grand Master Key, there should be a log that shows when you use the key. And when you didn't use the key, it wouldn't be there. No. But, I mean, even the fact that they don't even try to keep a chain... Just no chain of command. So frustrating. Okay. Now we're on to, as if we're not frustrated enough. Okay, so now we're on to Kayla Avery. And it's a letter she has received, right? We're on 1099 for the page. Let's just jump to the date here. Let's see. This is happening as late as March 02/07, right? So this friend Knox said she was on the Avery compound on Sunday, the 30th, 05. And she says, we had all seen that car in the back. What car did they see on the 30th? That's really... And, well, Steve could have done it and had someone bring the car and the body to him, and he would finish her. Okay, we know that's not even whatever. But... we had all seen that car in the back. What car did these kids see? Now, what's interesting is she wrote the note and gave it to blank today between 8:50 and 9:35 hours. So this isn't a note that was written at the time. It was written 2 years after. Written way, way later. So what's the point of the letter? But in the letter, we did get this. We had all seen that car in the back. On the 30th, what car did you see? Why was this not questioned? So that was our part 110 of the daily MaM reading of the CASO Investigative Reports. We have just a couple more readings. And, you know, in this, we're learning so much. We're learning that the investigation is done so sloppy and so tunnel vision that the only one that it would have pointed to would have been Steven. If you didn't do the crime, you shouldn't do the time. Thank you and have a lovely evening, and peace be with you.